everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Sister Trudy aka Truths, and thank you for joining me today on my channel. This is called Thankful Truths. Try it out. Guys, I have a topic that I wanted to talk to you about. If none of you that's watching tonight, today, this morning, this afternoon, first of all, I want to say thank you for joining me. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking. And most of all, thank you for commenting. Yeah, this video is about, I don't know if I titled it like this already, but it's in regards to language. You know, we meaning me and my Jamaican peers, Jamaican people, wagwan. All right, so I'm Jamaican, and you know, when you interact with other nationalities, you know, different cultures, different backgrounds, guys, so much goes on into you trying to speak your language, you know, however you was raised, you know, not because everybody is from Jamaica that means that everybody speak the exact same way. The number one thing where everybody love say when you meet them, especially if they have come across a few Jamaicans, the number one thing to say they always expect to hear is wagwan. But technically, not everybody, when you meet them in my country, I'm not gonna say we don't say that, but you know, if we meet somebody in the streets, I don't know, I think sometimes we do say hi, or you know, especially if we've never met that person before. But for an outsider coming in, you know, they necessarily like to say wagwan, you know, and so forth. So I brought this topic up because, you know, yes, I am, if you do not know, I'm married and I am Jamaican, and my husband is an American, born and raised. So this is the number one thing he loves to say, and I'm not really getting into that, but just to give you a kickstart as to what I want to talk about. Like I said, a lot of us talk to a lot of Jamaicans, a lot of Jamaicans talk to a lot of Americans, and yeah, you Americans, you have your slang, and that's good and everything, but for us, like I said, you know, my husband, he would love to say, talk your language, man, talk your language, but then in other words, you'll always hear him say, after speaking, you know, you're talking, like he'll say, run it, man, run it, you know, not, he don't say run it, but he'll say like, talk Jamaican, man, yeah, man, and you'll be like, okay, so you start to talk and you start to continue, and then this is what he'll say, eh, eh, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go, because if the eh come in, you know that, you know, the eh is like, I think it's, I'm not sure if eh is like American, but I think eh is like Jamaican. But he loves to do that, and henceforth I always have to switch back language, and I have to say and talk about language. I do have a sibling who usually say, stop the twanging, but it's not necessarily twanging, twanging. It's just that you want to be able to reach a person from a different background, so to speak, different country, different culture. So yeah, so you know, for that being said, I had this topic that I saw where this lady told her son, this is like some story times, this lady told her son to go dash some water on the, either she said dash some water or put some water on the stove. And you know, given that the young guy, the little boy rather, he's born of a Jamaican mom. I don't know the dad. That was just, you know, the point was that the mother and the son was together, and the mom told the son what to do, and the son was like, he had that weird look on his face like, what she mean? And then it so happened that the little boy, he decided to, he really asked her, like he asked her a few times, and he said, mommy, you sure? You know, because he's American, and he's like, mommy, you sure? And then she said, yeah, go and put some water on the stove. However she said it, you know, she talking Jamaican, so she's sure he understands. And you know, man, child, the little boy go and did what she said, and to her surprise, she was surprised. She went into the kitchen now thinking that the pot of water would be boiling on the stove. Now the young man, obviously, threw some water on top of the stove, and she went and saw it. She was very startled. So that brought me to this topic. Whereas, like I said, it's about, I don't want to say it's a barrier, but a lot of times we might say a word and it means a different word. For example, this was something that I brought up, and I saw a lot of people was like wondering about it. Like, well, not a lot of people. Some people, I would say, I don't know where they're from. I don't know if it was from the island. I don't know if it's from America. I don't know. But some people was like wondering what it meant, and others, you know, including myself, was Jamaican. We kind of know that what that's about. So I did bring up the topic, like, whereas I would have said if somebody got hurt, like they harmed their ankle, their foot, it doesn't matter, you hurt something, and me on the other hand would have said, and I mentioned this, and I would have said, oh, Oshia, but I didn't go into depths when I said it, but we would say in Jamaican, well, I would say, I'm not going to speak for all Jamaicans because I don't know what they would say, but I would have said Osh, but you know, you kind of put on the ya, so you'd have said Oshia, and I remember, you know, saying that, and the American person, which happened to be my husband, he was like, Osh, that tell me to shut up? Well, I'm talking Jamaican, but he would have said something like, babe, shut up. And I say, no. And then, to his avail, I had to explain that to him, that, you know, I meant, hush, meaning, you know, like, my bad, I'm sorry that had happened to you. You know what I mean? So in other words, we're telling him sorry, or we're telling the person sorry. So I was very surprised as to how much people who was questioning that in the comments. I was like, what's going on? Like, it's so, you know, like, it's very interesting that not just that, but a lot of other things have come to my attention, whereas people will understand a few words here and there when you talk Jamaican, but they don't necessarily understand the whole diaspora of you. Like, talking fast is one of the main things that I noticed that Jamaicans will do, and I think this is when it's a possibility when we're heated, like we're, you know, whether we're in an argument, or we're upset about something, or we're whatever, we're just telling something to someone, but we're explaining it to them in a fast way. It tends to be where they're like, you know, they'll understand some things, like if you're explaining something to them, like, or you're talking fast about something, or you say in your own language, in your Jamaican language, like, you'll say, yeah man, then I go down there, so, or, you know, you speak it so fast, and then they'll be like, what is she saying? So, you know, I say that to say this, that a lot of times we think we know what our each other says in our own language, you know, and some people really have no broken English whatsoever. You know, I have Ghanaian friends, I have, you know, different friends, Spanish, Dominican, different friends, and obviously, you know, their language is like super totally different. That's like on another level different, you know, and they speak Spanish, it's just like, that's a real but you know, but in terms of broken English now, there's certain things that you can say, like, where I say, you know, do you understand some of those? Where I say, where did they, ya go down there, ya go around there, where did they, you know, there's so many things, there's so many, guys. But like I said, if we were to really talk our language, could you understand it if we were to just constantly be talking Jamaican 24/7, and especially at a fast speed? That's a question I want to ask, and it's really from a Jamaican asking American. I don't necessarily want to put it in a wider diaspora, because the world is so big, and I know this is perhaps going to be worldwide, where different people, and I notice my Indian watchers, I see a few of you be watching. Big ups to you in India, wherever part of India you're from. Big ups to you anywhere you are in the world. Big up yourself. So yeah, guys, that's just that, and I'm just happy to bring this topic to light, because like I said, we don't mind talking our language. I've had a recent person ask me, why you don't talk Jamaican?